So we can start our recording. Okay, we started the recording. All righty. Well, I want to welcome everybody to our Jewels from our Jewels Zoom this morning. And I'm very, very excited about our speaker today. His name is Ron Lindley. And we met at our retreat the other, just a second, I got to mute some people. So sorry. My hair is right here. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna. If you guys can mute, that would help. There we go. All right. Sorry. We met at our Leaders Excellence, I guess that's what it's called. I called it a Leaders Summit. And the minute he would talk or whatever, I'm like, okay, I got to get him on the call. Because I just love to hear, from different people, especially men, because we have a lot of men that are doing Plexus and doing very well at it. And so I love to hear the different perspectives from different people. So I'm going to turn it right over to Ron right now. And we're so happy to have him. He's from Oklahoma. So, no, you're not from Oklahoma. Oopsie.
Close. Kansas. Right north of Oklahoma.
Oh, well, same thing almost.
That's okay. That's okay.
Well, your upline's from Oklahoma, right?
Well, my direct upline is, yes, and then above that's back in Kansas.
Okay, that's what I was confused about. All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to you, Ron, so go right ahead.
Well, good morning, everybody. Glad you're here, and I hope I can say a few things that help you with your Plexus business. We'll tell you a little bit about myself. I started in Plexus in August of 2013. Our story is very similar to Jake and Timmy Yancey. We have several rental properties. I'm also a realtor. So through this, I didn't have a lot of time or didn't think I had time to take on another business. My wife and I wanted to lose a little weight. That's all we knew Plexus was for, was weight loss in the beginning. And I had a tenant that at the time was dating who is my upline today. And she introduced us to Plexus one night. She had been an ambassador for a whole week. And she explained it a little bit. We listened to her mom a little bit on the phone about the comp plan and things. And decided, since I'm kind of a tightwad, and Stacy Holster will verify that I signed up as an ambassador to get the products at wholesale. Several of you may be in that same situation today that say the same story over and over. I wanted to buy wholesale because I didn't think it was going to work, but I wanted the best price. I was very, very skeptical. So we took the products for 2 or 3 weeks. It was a little slower reacting for me, but for my wife, Kara, and that's her name tag on the little screen there, she saw immediate results. So it kind of shows us that everybody's health journey is a little different. Everybody's business journey is going to be a little different. So my testimony is mainly, I got rid of 12 to 15 pounds, been able to keep 10 of those off. But my big thing is acid reflux. I took a prescription med called Protonics for several years, and after about 3 months on the ProBio 5, I was able to come off Protonics and have never looked back. That is a blessing because I don't have to sleep sitting up in the recliner 4 or 5 nights a week. My wife's testimony, she lost some weight, about 25 pounds to be exact. She loves how fast her fingernails grow and things of that nature. So we've got a big testimony in the family is my mother-in-law. My wife's mom, she has lost about 90 pounds. Wow. She's off blood pressure medication, several benefits. And she went through this while sitting in a recliner because she had had 2 knee surgeries. So she was not active during this time, but very faithful with her products.
Wow.
So these products work. They're proven. The consistency, I think everybody already knows that. Again, I was super, super skeptical. And frankly, I was anti-MLM. Didn't want anything to do with it. I signed up to buy wholesale, but I knew that there was no commitment on my part and I could quit at any time. I think a lot of people get scared of multi-level marketing companies, network marketing, because they've either had a bad experience, or two, they've heard horror stories.
Right.
And it scares them. And I think once you understand the Plexus business, the products, it's a small product line. We're not a huge catalog. We can promote our products to everyone, every culture. I say every age, but, we have to be careful under 18. But we're not just promoting a product to women or just someone in other businesses. So it is great. Now that I understand it, I am 110% in. We're at 30 months on Valentine's Day. So that's 2.5 years, and I love it. It's been one of the best occupations, if you want to call it that I've ever had. Once I learned the comp plan, I am money driven. Our comp plan is by far better than anything I've ever seen. I can't say it's the best, but in my opinion, it's the best. But I haven't compared it to a lot of others. The same as I don't compare Plexus. If someone asks me, how does Plexus compare to company A or company B? I just tell them what Plexus has done for me, my family and friends, and new acquaintances that I've met across the country. I'm not going to put any other company down, but I'm not going to build it up. Right. So brag about your company. I was very busy at the time. I told a friend of mine who that's in another health company about a year before I was introduced to Plexus. I said, Jason, if you had the very best products, the very best comp plan, I don't have time to do it. I can't take on anything else. This kind of just fell in our lap. We happened to be in the Caribbean in a condo one day. Kara posted her testimony, and the computer blew up. Facebook just went nuts. She spent 3 or 4 days replying to Facebook private messages, and so our business just took off from right there. So we were in it. Whether we wanted to be or not, we were in it and have never looked back. It's a great way, if you get the pleasure to get your spouse in this business, which our comp plan allows that after you turn gold. It's a great way to work together, husband and wife, or there's some mother-daughter teams, several ways you can do it. Kara and I, in the beginning, we came at this business from the weight loss because we primarily were slim and accelerator. That's really all we knew in the beginning. Once we learned the products, today we come at it from the health standpoint and the opportunity. In Atlanta with Cindy, poor Terry Hildebrand and I were in a room, and Buddy Norman, we're in a room full of 53 to 55 other women. Mm-hmm. And so, needless to say, we didn't get to say much, but that's okay. But I listened to a lot of these ladies, and I was surprised at how many come with the opportunity, the business side of this before the products. They explain the products, but they don't hesitate getting right into the opportunity. Because when they say this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and that's how I welcome every new member on our team, is welcome to an opportunity of a lifetime. It truly is. Mm-hmm. This is not bragging, but our net income from Plexus exceeds our net income from 40 plus rental houses today. I said net.
Right.
We're 30 months into this. I'm 22 years into the property investment world. So, and if Kara and I can do it, anybody can do it. Facebook. Facebook's very important, but it's not the only tool you have. You know, you got to get out and you got to mingle with people. You got to brand yourself. You know, you see the hat, you see the shirt. You got to brand yourself. I was really surprised in Atlanta, the amount of women that came into that class that did not have something on Plexus. All the guys did, but very few women. And I just asked, why aren't you guys branding yourself? You know you're around Plexus people, that's okay, but you're going to be in all these pictures, and you're going to post these pictures on your Facebook, and people don't see that logo on anything. You got to brand yourself. McDonald's don't take down the golden arches. That is their brand. Every McDonald's commercial has those golden arches in it. So you got to brand yourself. Wear the clothes, wear the hats, whatever you got to do, the sweatpants, flip-flops. I think my wife's even got sunglasses with Plexus on. So brand yourself. It's super important. Business cards. And you know what? I'm probably going to embarrass myself here because I had it written out. Honey, can you get me a business card, please? About a half a dozen of them. Business cards are super important. Okay? This is Kara and I's. I love it. At first, I thought nobody wants one that folds. But on the back side, it's got the products. And we got to get them updated because it does still say fast release. All right. This is a conversation starter. Okay? It's different than just your regular business card with only your name and stuff on it. When I hand that to somebody, they say, what's Plexus? Slim? Powdered stick? And if they've never heard of it, which most of the world has not, this company, this product will never be saturated, no matter what anybody says. Ardmore, Oklahoma has 6 or 7 or 8 Jewels in it. It's not that big a town. So if they can do it, anybody else can do it. Business cards are important, and use them. They make you no money sitting in your office.
Right.
Use them up. No pressure pitches. Everybody's been to the used car lot at some point in their life. Don't high pressure anybody. We are seeing people watch our Facebook page, and I know you've heard this several times, and if you're fairly new, you wonder, but we have friends and old classmates contacting us all the time. I've been watching you. I've been watching you for 1.5 years. I've been watching you for 2 years. Because people want to know, not only do the products work, are you going to stay in the business? Are you going to be wishy-washy? You're going to quit? You're going to slack off posting? You know, they're going to follow you. Your team is going to follow you. So if you get weak and slow down, periodically you're going to have that rock star that just accelerates. Your team is going to follow you, and they're going to do what you do. So lead by example. Have your elevator speech ready. If you don't have an elevator speech, have it ready. If you're standing in that line at Walmart or anywhere, you know, what's Plexus? What do you do for a living? You know, if they see my shirt, I work for a health and wellness company. I help people get healthy and make money. Poof. That sparks a lot of people's interest, especially when you follow with and make money, because a lot of people would like to make another 100, 200, 300. Don't treat all your ambassadors as they're going to be an emerald someday. Let them take baby steps and get there. I took baby steps. It took me 24 months to get to emerald. When I signed up, I looked at my upline's mother's back office, and at the time she had about 60 ambassadors. She had been a Plexus ambassador for about 5 months. I said, Melissa, there's no way I can do that. No way. I don't know that many people that would want to get in this business. Start with customers, line up your customers, and take your best preferred customers and convert them to an ambassador. Let them buy wholesale and make money. Two things. Once you go from preferred to wholesale, as a preferred customer, you're not getting paid back on your products. You're buying almost as cheap as wholesale, but you don't have the ability to make any money at that point. Convert them over if they want to get into business. Show enthusiasm. I'm going to do a screen share real quick. I'm not going to go through this whole PowerPoint, but I'm going to show it to you. I created it, but I stole all bits and pieces from other PowerPoints. But I'm going to give you all my email address because that's the only way I know to send it to you is by email, and anybody can have it and use it. And it's on the comp plan because I really love pitching the comp plan. Okay, it's pretty simple. It's 11 ways to earn income in Plexus, and you're going to see there's only 10 of them on here. I dare you to find the one that's missing. But I just start with that. I go right into everybody understands commissions, explain how the three things work, definitely highlight that 0 to $99.99 is 0%. A lot of people forget that. Then I go into preferred customer bonuses. I give them some examples, and we talk about the consecutive orders and getting the discount. Then I go into the 5% override on all your personally sponsored level ones, business building bonuses and how important those are. And then I show this graphic so the people can see exactly how that's paid out. Then I show the achievement bonuses all the way up, and I highlight on that page, those are all one-time bonuses because that's important to highlight. Plexus points, we all know that takes a little while to explain. I use this little chart that I kind of got a little artistic one day and drew up. And that's pretty handy, and that can be a file of its own that you can print and hand to your prospects. I talk about the explanation of the pay points. We go into Emerald, 1,500 points. I explain the Emerald pool, the car bonus. Then we do touch a little bit on that they take you to Hawaii every year. All expenses paid. You know how we have to say most natural instead of all natural? Well, that made me think a little bit. And so I asked Alec one day, our president, I said, Alec, I use the term all expenses paid on this Hawaii trip. Can I really use that, or should I say most expenses paid? He says, well, Ron, we even furnish you a rental car and we feed you twice a day. He said, we don't buy your souvenirs, but by flying you there, putting you up, feeding you twice a day, and getting you a rental car, he says, I think you can use the word all expenses paid. Mm-hmm. So you go into the diamond, the sapphire, and the re-entry. That's my PowerPoint. And I'll be glad to, my email, if you want to write it down, is rlindley, Lindly, 726 @gmail.com. You send me an email and I will send you back that PowerPoint. It's plain and simple and it's easy for people to get. You know, when everybody was explaining the comp plan to me, they talk too fast. Everybody wants to get it. One of my biggest fears of MLMs was they always talk about their products, but they don't explain their comp plan. How do I get paid? A lot of people don't care. They start seeing them checks and they don't care where it comes from. My wife wasn't that interested as long as the checks came. She didn't want to know every little detail. She wanted to learn the products. I was the opposite. I'll learn the products, but I want to know that I'm going to get paid to promote them. Talk slow and explain the whole thing. You don't have to highlight the emerald, the sapphire, the diamond, the re-entry, the being able to will it to your family, but touch on them and say, I'll explain those big points later. Let's get you to Senior Ruby. Let's get you that $750 final one-time bonus. So that's that. I love the comp plan. I can't stress that enough. Convention. Convention is one of your best business building components. Plexus spends a lot of money for us to go to convention. Lots of money. Millions. It's important. If you can find any way, shape, or form to get there, please get to convention. Meetings. Any local meetings in your area, and learn to host them. If you're afraid to host, Kara and I got thrown into our very, very first product meeting, and we had to do it ourselves with my brand new upline because her dad had a health issue that day and he couldn't come help us. On our very first one, we got 45 people there waiting to hear about the products. And you talk about nervous and stutter and sweaty and, you know, clammed up, but we did it. And we got 3 or 4 new customers that night. So get to meetings, host meetings. I heard this next term 50 times before it soaked in. Those who show up, go up.
Right.
That is the truth. The more educated you get, the better your business is going to be. So those who show up will go up. Let's see. I talked about brand yourself. You got to stay positive. Okay. We've had some back office issues. It's easy to get kind of beat up on that. Me personally, I think about 98% of those issues are gone now. We're having very, very few calls for me to call in on the Emerald line now. I think shipping is back to normal. So, and our company cares about us. They have a lot of things coming down the pike that's going to be positive. They're going to make our back office even better. You're going to be able to follow your convention points. Going to be updated every 2 hours versus every Wednesday night. Woo, there's that email from Chris Pike so we can see how many credits we have. You're going to note daily. Be careful on your Facebook posts. That is your billboard. If you're positive, your peeps are seeing positive. You put out something negative, and it doesn't even have to be like verbally negative, okay? And I'm as guilty of this as others. But sometimes the pictures you post of junk food, you know, you're sending the wrong story. You don't always have to put the picture of the healthiest food, but don't throw yourself under the bus by taking a picture and on the kitchen counter you got 2 Snickers bars laying there. Things like that. We can still treat ourselves, but don't advertise it. But stay positive, because positive breeds positive. Negative will breed negative, and it grows a lot faster than the positive, unfortunately. So we don't want to send the wrong signal. Compliance. If you've got a question about a post, compliance has their own email address. They've got their own Facebook page. Find out. You know, we cannot use the word plexus and a symptom in the same post. Hands down, cannot do it. We were told at training last week, don't think that the FDA might not plant somebody as an ambassador in our company somewhere just to watch. Okay, because they do it. They do it to every company. For some reason, our government doesn't welcome network marketing like they should. They really should be encouraging it. Now that I understand it, I can encourage it. Last but not least, you got to be a product of the product. If you are not taking the products, not using them, faithfully, how can you expect your team and your customers to do it? You must be a product of the product. Brag about your testimony. It can be minimal. It can be that you're going to the manicurist 3 or 4 days quicker than before because your fingernails are growing so fast. And then in the comments, put, God, I love my X Factor. You can do things like that. But you've got to be a product of the product. That's really all I got today, kids. I've enjoyed this, Cindy. I hope I have helped everybody. Again, throw me an email, rlindley726@gmail.com, and I'll be glad. I'll sit right here right now and send them all right back.
Oh, you are awesome, Ron. Thank you so much for sharing with us all these great tips. I wrote them all down, and I'm going to go over them. And
I can scan this.
Yeah, that would be nice. But it's really good to hear all this because we are, leaders, gold and above, and we need to encourage to share this and teach this to our team below us. And I'm just really thankful that you were able to get all these points out because they're all things that all of us should know, but it's always good to hear over and over and over. And sometimes I found you hear things from somebody over and over, but somebody else says it and it clicks. So that's why I love this training for us because we're hearing it from all different tools, and each person clicks with another person. So I just thank you so much for spending this half hour with us today. I was going to ask you, what would be your biggest tip that you feel has got you where you are today? Is it your belief? You just all of a sudden it clicked in your brain, I'm doing it. What started you going, okay, I'm not just going to be an ambassador a silver or gold. I'm going all the way to emerald. You remember that day when or kind of what happened there to get you there in that mind frame?
Everybody can laugh, but money is driven.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I set out a kind of a map of how fast I thought I could get to diamond.
Yes.
Because I did what I told you not to do. I tried to compare myself to somebody that already went to diamond. So my initial goal was July of 2016 to be diamond. Okay, I wanted to do it in 23 months. It didn't happen.
Right.
I'm not deflated 1 ounce because of that. Because everybody's journey is different. I beg you, don't ever compare yourself to anybody else on your team. And don't get deflated if someone on your team bypasses you in rank. That is possible to do. But because all of our journeys are different. The thing I say is you don't give up. You cannot give up. That you're going to have those down days. Kara and I mean, it ain't all a bowl of cherries every day. We'll have that customer call and complain, and you think, golly, if they just drink a little more water and take it consistently, they wouldn't be calling and complaining. You have to turn that into a positive. And one note that I talked about at training last week, I heard people talking about, oh man, I don't want to answer that call, because they see the name pop up and they're dreading it. Well, I used to do that with my rental tenants. I'd say, there's 418 calling again. What problem do they have today? But I quit doing that. I started answering them all thinking it's going to be positive. Because a lot of times, hey, Ron, the money's in the Dropbox. It's a mindset. So don't get yourself in that mindset. Answer it with a positive attitude. I've got a buddy of mine in Wichita. His line, every time I call him, and I probably talk to him 4 or 5 times a year, every time he answers the phone, hey, Ron, how can I make your day just a little bit better?
I love that.
That's what he says, and I love it. I've got a sign above my desk that says, Everybody wants to feel like somebody.
Yeah, love that.
How many times have you asked for a free concert ticket or something like that, or someone give you a cover charge to get in to see a band at a club or something? It's the small things. Because I can tell you, I had a sports bar once, and it didn't mean as much to somebody if I gave them 2 $3 beers versus 1 $3 cover charge. It meant more to get in the door free than for me to give them more value in a couple beers. So everybody wants to feel like somebody. Treats your team that way.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. That's a great way to end it right there. You know, let's all do that today. Let's go make everybody around us that God throws in our path, you know, feel like somebody. And I just thank you so much. And we're going to stop right now. And thanks again. That was awesome. Make sure you let your teams know about this call to listen to that weren't on the call today. Like, go into our Facebook page and watch it because it was awesome.